The Couture 303 podcast is now officially sponsored by Dapper Turkish Barbers in Hunts Cross. You can find them on Wood End Avenue and they do the full service there. The hair, the beard, the ears, the nose, the cutthroat, hot towels, the lot. It's the only barbers I ever go to. Fantastic service, great lads. No need to book, just pop in and see them 7 days a week. If you want a nice sick fade like mine, you will not be disappointed. The absolute best in the area. That's Dapper Turkish Barbers, Wood End Avenue, Hunts Cross. And now back to the show.
The Couture 303 podcast with Jay Viper.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Couture 303 podcast. Now, as many of you know, when I do these podcasts, sometimes they take months and months of preparation and planning, and there's back and forth and stuff like that. This podcast wasn't happening 24 hours ago. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Craig Talent. Here he is.
Hi, Jay.
So as I said in the introduction there, obviously I plan podcasts as best I can. And sometimes, I mean, I've been trying to get Sharky on the podcast for over 12 months. He's currently in Japan. When he comes back, he's going to do it again. So hopefully I fucking nail him down. And then obviously, like to yourself, we were just having a conversation yesterday over WhatsApp. And I went, fuck it, I'm getting on the podcast. So here we are.
I was like,
how are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, good, mate. I have listened to your podcast, by the way. Robbie Edwards, he was on about lockdown, wasn't he? Really good.
So that was a funny one, that, because obviously I had Les Calvert on. When I started these podcasts, there was a couple of different avenues I was going down. There wasn't an outlet. There wasn't a podcast like this talking to like local talent and in some cases legends in the scene. And I was just kind of ticking off people who I knew or I'd had interactions with. I'd seen them in clubs or they worked in record shops, whatever. So obviously Les Calvert used to work in Groover, used to work in 3 Beat, big name in the city. He used to play in the Drome under DJ Confusion. So obviously wanted to get him on. Obviously worked in Mode as well. So got him on. And when we wrapped up the podcast, he said, have you ever thought about getting Robbie Edwards on? And I went, I'll be honest, like it's not a name that's ever kind of jumped out at me, but of course I'll speak to him. You know, he's a big name in the city and stuff, and I'll give anyone the shot. I mean, and fuck me, what a podcast that was.
Yeah, he's
crazy. I
first met Robbie in where I used to DJ in a nightclub called Passion.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I've got a structure, Craig. You know that. Fuck's sake.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I just realised what I was doing.
As I do with all my podcasts, and there's no exception for you. Where and when were you born, mate?
I was born in 1987, June. So I'm 36 years of age. So obviously 37 this year. Yeah. I was born in Liverpool, Oxford Street Hospital.
I think I was born in Oxford Street.
Yeah, it's towards Oxford end of it. Well, you know, by town. By
town end.
Yeah, born there. So yeah, I'm 37 this year.
And what are you? What's your family unit like? Mum, dad, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I was brought up in a working class family. Mum and dad still together now. I've got a younger sister. She's,
well, that's a rarity, isn't it? Your mum and dad still together. In this day,
just about
is, though, isn't it?
Just about.
You freak.
I think they have separate rooms, like in the house, and like
Craig's dead posh, isn't he? His mum and dad are still together.
So yeah, working class family. My dad was the breadwinner. He was out of work for about 7 or 8 years when I was a kid, and then he ended up working in a factory, and then my mum was just like a typical housewife, you know, running around dropping the kids off, myself and my sister, all that jazz. So
your sister younger or older?
She's younger, yeah.
Okay.
So she's been facing a little bit of adversity at the moment. A fella died. He was 41, I think he was. He died last year. So I think like it's quite tense within the household.
Yeah. It's still quite fucking raw and fresh for it, isn't it? Sorry to hear about that, mate. That's it. Put it down on the show. Thanks, mate. Yeah. That's it for this episode of the podcast, guys. I'll see you in 3 weeks' time. So what was your school life like? Were you a good kid, naughty kid, active kid?
I was always very, like, I was going back onto the working class background where I was raised. My mum sent me to like a bit of a a middle class school, if you will.
Okay.
So I was raised in Walton Kirkdale, and then she sent me to a school in Egbert, which is obviously towards your end.
Yeah.
So St Margaret's, it was called. So it was like a church school. She used to drag me to church every Sunday. I missed out on loads of Sunday football because my mum wanted me to get in this school. And I got there, and it was like, I mean, obviously you've got like Egbert is, to me, where I come from, is like a middle class area. It is.
Yeah. Egbert is,
yeah, and then obviously you go past Egbert, and then you've got the more like working class areas, like such
Hale
as
wouldn't speak.
Hale Woods, Garston speak, but they're like the
they're definitely not middle class.
That's it. Well, they're like, you know, the north end where I come from, Walton Kirkdale. They like sort of replicate, you know, your Garstons and that. It's like, you know, it's and then in between you've got, like, you know, obviously
Egbert and Walton and stuff like that.
Yeah. Even West Derby, to me, where I come from, where I live now, is middle class. So I went there, and like, you're getting kids from all around the city. So I never really moved outside of Walton or Kirkdale. So it was like the dialect was different. Like, you know, some things you'd say, and the sense of humour, I got the biggest wake up call in my life, because you go in the schoolyard and then you crack a joke. Yeah. And it just go over certain people's heads.
Sir, he's just called me a wool.
Yeah, exactly. and I was like, shit, am I not funny? Or these just don't understand.
No, practicing in the middle.
Yeah. So I was like, what's going on here? And it took me quite a good few months to get settled in. Do you know what I mean? It was a big step in my life. And before then, I used to always have a football in my hand. I used to play football in the streets. It's where I come from. We, you know, holes in our trainees, you know, and like, we were just on the street playing footy every day. So I was around good players as well. So I always thought of myself as a decent player. So we got to St Margaret's, and like first 2 weeks or something, we had trials for the football team, and it was just clustered. And I thought, I'll walk in this. They're all walls, blah, blah, blah. And I got onto the trials, and it was all like, pass the ball, sir, he's not passing, and all that. And I didn't get in the team.
Oh my God.
But that little thing, it sounds like a little pet, but that ruined like my life until like me late 20s. It sounds dramatic, but it was a psychological thing, because it was the first rejection I proper ever got in my life, and
an unfair rejection as well, by the sounds of it. You know, it's not a warranted one. It's you can handle rejection if it's warranted. You know, if you know you're not good enough, you take it on the chin and dust yourself off and crack on. But in that case, where you're probably with one of the better guys there playing football, and you got rejection.
But it killed me though, because then there was questions and everything, which like, I'm not good enough. It's low self-esteem kicked in, which I'll touch on later.
I'm shit at football.
Yeah, but later on in life, it led to complications, which I believe was where the root cause.
It all stems from somewhere, mate, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes it's something as simple as that.
Yeah, and I believe that rejection, like it beat me up in life, to like about like my late 20s, where it led to a path of like destruction type thing. Yeah. Which I'll touch base on a bit.
Yeah, we'll get on that a little bit later. So that was it. So what was your exposure to music in the home? Obviously, your sister's younger than you, so you probably wasn't getting no inspiration from her. Were your parents into music, or did you have any aunties or uncles, cousins, whatever?
It's very interesting you say that. And so my dad is one of them. He's black and white. He's old school. He's like, that's not music. That's just noise. Do you know, that cliche type of thing?
Yeah.
But he used to say to me, listen to this song, and I go, oh, I don't like it. Do you know, like, say for like example, Eric Clapton or something, and he'd always say to me, which I give him props for this. He used to always say to me, when you're older, you will realise. And as a kid, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
shit.
what was I? So what was I listening to the other night? Eric Clapton.
Do
you know what I mean? So I give him respect for saying that. Do you know what I mean? But it was always, I always felt like music was always in me, because from an early age, I remember being in primary school, and I always remember this moment where these two lads came in, And we were, by the way, we were only 10 or 11 at this point.
Yeah.
So these two lads come in and they said, "Oh yeah, we went out the weekend." And I said, "I went, where'd you go?" And they're totally like lying,
Yeah,
kids being kids. And I said, "Where'd you go?" Well, this is it. And I went, "Where'd you go?" We went to 051, the 051. And I went, "What's the 051?" And he went, excuse me. And he went, "Look at this." And they had the Lee Butler tapes, and they had them in like little Walkmans. They went, "Listen to that. That's proper music." And I was like, and it was just like, obviously, and all that. And I was just like, and then I started thinking, yeah. And then I come in the next week. I
didn't see you in there.
What you? This is it. Where'd you go the weekend? And I went, "Yeah, I went the 051." They were like, "How was you?" Yeah, and I went, "Yeah," and that's exactly like that. I went, "Where was yours?" And then he went, and I went, and then anyway, and then I found out. I think I went home and said something to someone, and they went, "Behave the 051. You got to be over 18 to get in." And I knew it was all a lie. And it was just like some cheap thing. And then I started like thinking like, and he had like JK Beat It. And it's that JK Beat It. It's like an instant, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like
happy, innit?
Yeah, I went to my older cousin, and he had a Pez Tellet and Lee Butler CD.
Never heard of them.
It was, and on that, I remember rightly, track 18 was JK Beat It. It was Club Zone. It was Club Zone CD. I think it might have been Pez Tellet's Radio City. It was an old Radio City CD, and I heard that. I went, "That's that song, just JK Beat It." And then I started going on to like a path of like getting into that type of music, and then So later on, a couple of years later, I was old enough to mind my younger sister. So when my mum and dad would go out, I'd put like who was it? I'd put like Radio City on, and then they'd play like and they'd have like a dance hour. It was like from like 11 o'clock onwards, and I was hearing like all these tunes like Apollo Dance to Me and all that. And I started getting into it that way, and then after that, I was like. I would say further down the line, I was in like year 11 last year at school, and one of the lads brought in and was saying about DJs, and they were going on listing them, Lee Butler, blah blah blah, 051 DJs. I was older at this point, about 15, and then they went, "Little John, he's good as well," and I did, and I thought I've heard of him, and then one of the lads brought a Little John CD in.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I took it home and copied it. And I said, "Just pass them back."
You might be listening to this, you know. We'll be fucking knocking on your door.
I took it home and copied it.
Where's my £9?
And I took it home and copied it, and then it was like I wasn't DJing at this point. I was like 15, and I just remember listening to all the songs. I was like, "Wow, these are boss these," and then. Later on, like a couple of months later, I remember the date, January the 25th. Also, it was like 2003, and I used to listen to Plastic Surgery, and then from 12 till 1, Little John would go on the decks. He'd take over Lee Butler for an hour, and I remember listening to him, and then I heard and it was the first time I ever heard Pretty Green Eyes, and I thought, "What's this?" And I was like, "Wow!" And I taped it. I used to tape his sets. Little John, I used to tape them, and then obviously Pretty Green Eyes blew up to be massive. But it was like there was a version when he played the Residence Q remix. And I remember sitting with my Walkman on the couch, and then and that came on. It was like 12:20. I remember the exact moment, and I was like, "Wow!"
Life changing moment.
That's it. And then it was just like, "I want to be a DJ. I want to be like Little John. I want to be a DJ." And then I ended up getting these Newmark direct drive. I think they were belt direct drive, but they felt like belt drive type things.
Was it them TT ones with the buttons on the corners?
Yeah, I think they were like purple. Yeah, and I got them off
DJ in a box.
Yeah, like that. And he said, "Give me a tenner a week." I think I paid him 190. He wanted 2 ton. I think he pulled me last year saying, "You got that tenner for being dead serious."
Hey, it's fucking 19 now.
Yeah. So there was a little bit prior to that, there was a lad who was like a local Tom Pepper saying, and they said he said to me, "I'll charge you. this much to DJ lessons. I'm a DJ. I know this fella. I know he was so. I give him like 200 quid out, like me, I like saving up on some of my birthday money. And he worked in this like community centre where they teach naughty kids and stuff how to DJ. So he said, come down. So basically, he took the money off me. It didn't teach me nothing. So then I had these decks then, the Newmark Director, whatever they were. So I thought, do you know what, he's had me off here. And then I said to him, you're going to teach me? Yeah, I will tomorrow. It was one of them. Okay. And then he said, give me another 100 quid. And you don't have to pay for any more lessons ever. And I
being 15, you're like, here you go.
Yeah. And I think I went, all right. He went, look, and he went, but don't mention it in front of the boss.
Okay.
So obviously in there. So and he went, I went, why is that? He went, because he goes embarrassed when anyone mentions money. But really, he was just putting in a skyrocket, like, you know what I mean? So
what a cunt.
So he never took, yeah. So he never. I think he ends up in jail. This lad anyway for having people off.
Good.
And yeah. So he never taught me nothing. So I thought, right, I've got these decks. I ended up getting the decks as stated then. So I ended up thinking, right, I'll have to do this myself. So I was in there. My sister kept running in saying, I keep thinking they're getting shot at. All the beats are everywhere for ages. And
quick, Craig's fell down the stairs. Oh no, it's not. It's one of his bitches.
That was exactly what it was like. I had two little.
EastEnders is on. Oh no, it's all right. Sorry, Craig.
I had two little speakers, probably about that same size as that. And
you get your balls out.
And I had the decks on the floor, so I was sitting on the floor trying to like, and I was going, oh, and then I some reason I had the balls to go to DJ competitions in town. Like I'd find out these were DJ competitions, so go make it swat to myself. Just couldn't mix, just fading or just overpowering the gain and just trying to blend it. And it was like having got
oh look, another spin back.
Yeah, exactly. And that was in a Velvet Lounge in town, Bold Street, it was called. They had DJ competitions there. So I went to one of them there. And then there was another one in, I think it's where Jimmy Allen DJs now, Barbadega. There was another one in there. On the, where you go down the steps and that. So I went there, same again. And then I was just like, it was like 60 at this point. And then the local neighbourhood art case, he was into DJing. So he apparently got out that I had decks and that, and he said, you, and I was scared. And he went, you're a DJ, aren't you? And I went, yeah, just like, yeah, like,
shit your pubes, get over there.
Yeah. So he goes, right, you're coming with me to my gig on Friday. I'll pick you up Gino's. So I go, oh, all right, no problem. So he goes, so he said, bring your records. So I take my record box and that, and he played all like funk, like Funky House, it was called back then. And I had all these Scouse House records. So he'd warm up with the Funky House, and then he'd say, go on, and I jumped on. And then he went, I thought you could mix. And I was just like, oh. And then,
so did I.
I know, yeah. And I was just like, I was still absolutely shit then. I was like 16 still. And then, bloody, they just carried on going. And then I got in with these lads who had a studio in town, where 3-Beat was. Above there was offices.
I remember that,
yeah. So one of the lads said, do you want to pay some of the rent? And so it was like 130 quid a month each. So there was 3 of us in the studio. So you go in and there'd be decks there, and you get to practice. So next door to us, was one side was the Pleasure Rooms DJs, Carl Gwynn and that, and the other side was Mike Descala. Okay. So this was like, so I was like, wow, my God, I'm surrounded by, you know.
Yeah.
Like
your heroes at the time.
Yeah. So I'm surrounded like by like the Pleasure Rooms there, and you got Descala there. You stay at Descala making music, just and got to know them and that. And further down the corridor, Ian Redman, his office, the 3B used to do the DJ school down there. But so I'd go in one day, and I'd be practicing all the time. And then one of the Pleasure Room DJs come in, Carlos, his name was, and he was just listening to me, and he said, do you know, because I started being able to beat match then, and then he'd go, and he said, but I dropped the bass in the wrong place, and I was just like, And then he said to me, no, what you're doing wrong is you're doing that. And all the penny dropped then.
Yeah.
And then I went from there, and then it all come together. Then I was going back to Kirby DJing, and I was just getting better and better and better. And then I just went from there. Do you know what I mean? And I just become like I don't want to say the good, but I became a lot better than what I was.
Did you know we go under the same name as well?
Yeah. Well, that's my actual name, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's an ironic name, like, isn't it? To be have a talent to be called talent. It's like maybe you go fucking J Tattoo. It's my real name. Honestly,
that's it. Yeah.
So what would you say your first? Obviously, you kind of worked your way through the ranks there.
Yeah.
You know, and late you'd say, but when would you say was your first actual? When for you was the breaking point where you thought, I'm actually fucking doing right here? Was it a specific gig or a specific crowd or a specific night?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the specific gig, I'm gonna say it was passion, but leading up to that, the amount of work I had to do to get in there, I was going into town, I was getting the bus into town with my record box to the late lounge DJing 9 to 10.
And we're talking vinyl now.
Vinyl,
and it was fucking heavy, mate, wasn't it?
Yeah, and talking vinyl, and you couldn't, the way like now when you're on the deck, someone could come over to you and say, do you want a bevy or whatever, or how are you? How's the family? Yeah, sound, yeah. Do you know what? But just bringing the needle back, and you're like, no one could talk to you. You're just like, you fuck off quick. Because
there was no spare time, was there?
No spare time. So I'd go to late lounge, and by this point I could mix all right. Then I was a lot better. So I'd do the warm up, and then I was on a building site the next day. I was a brickie apprentice. So the atmosphere was busy. It was, I thought I've just come off the deck, so I was buzzing because I thought I had a decent set there, and it was with Danny J and that. He's the one who put me on in there, late lounge and that. But everything was like a blur because I was just. It was like I just wanted to. I wasn't where I was like wanted to be. I was just trying to break through. Still, I never see myself as like, I'm in town. So I was just like, and my mouth was on my case, get home, you're in work in the morning. So get the last bus home with my record box.
Yeah. Were you getting paid for these gigs, like?
No money.
And that's, so this is the thing you see. Sorry to put in, but people who don't know the industry, it's all about money for them. You're getting paid. Like if someone said to you as a 16-year-old kid, do you want to do 12 to 1 on the pleasure rooms? There's no money. You'd fucking bite their hand off. Whereas your mum and dad might go, you want to get paid for that, not understanding the magnitude of something of that exposure is worth more than money, isn't it?
Of course, absolutely. It's absolutely. I'm glad you said that. It's but like I was just these kids now the ones who were getting on the scene, they wouldn't know what I had to do, and probably what yourself had to do, what you had to do to get onto to be like quite successful. I had to go through the gutter, basically, just like the. I don't want to use the word gutter, but I had to go through
like an apprenticeship.
I had to go through hardships to get where I was. And that was just one of the gigs. There was other gigs where I had to do for no money. I done VR Bar for no money. I done X in the City after hours, no money. And that's not me like being bitter to what they didn't pay me. That was like, sure. Yeah, they give me an opportunity. It wasn't like it wasn't like they were begging me to do it for no money. They was like, there's a gig there. I can put you on if you want. Yeah, fine, yeah. So it was my doings, and then all I wanted to do was be a DJ and play good music, and that's what it's always been about. Is the music?
You'll get there, mate. You'll get there.
Yeah. It's never been like. It's don't get me wrong, I'll be lying if I said there wasn't no ego at all in there. There was some ego in there, you know what I mean? I did like people telling me, oh yeah, you're doing it. I did, there is, I'm not gonna lie. But it has primarily always been about the music and showcasing music to people what I believe in. And then go ahead.
It's a fine line, I because I think we had this conversation briefly yesterday. I'm the same, mate. I've done all that. I've travelled up and down the motorways and stuff like that. And there's a fine line between, obviously, I want the exposure. I want that moment where, you know, I come away from a fucking gig and I've got loads of messages or gigs, whatever. But then there's that fine line of, I'm getting the piss took out of me a little bit here, and I've alluded to this before. I went down to fucking Derby one day for the DJ competition, and I knew I'd done well, and I knew I'd smashed it. There was no denying it. You know, you'd have that fucking this is one of them golden moments here. I was on fire, and I walked away and I thought I fucking smashed that. And the competition was whoever plays the best gets a paid gig next time round.
Yeah.
So trying to make it a bit more professional sounding. My ex-wife, she was like my point of contact. So I was saying to like these promoters, contact, blah blah blah. So then the Monday morning comes round, and I knew I'd won. I knew I'd won the competition. There was no denying it. I seen the person who won before me, person after me, and I'm not a big-headed person, but they couldn't hold the candle to me. I smashed it. So I was waiting for this phone call on the Monday, and they phoned me, my ex-missus, and they were like, yeah, we had Jay down on Saturday, and they played really well, and so what we're going to do, if you can come down on such and such a date and play again for us, and then we'll have a look at giving them a paid booking. And she was like, well, that's what I thought this was for. The competition was for a paid gig. We just drove down to Derby there with a minibus, 16 people in a minibus, put 16 fucking bums on seats, and for no money, like, yeah, who else do you represent? And I was like, wow. And at the time, we're talking about 2007, 2008, the hard dance scene was kind of fizzling out in the Northwest. There was nowhere to play the music that I loved playing. So I had this choice then. I can go down the route of playing commercial stuff, Scouse House, Funky House, whatever. Because if you can DJ techno, you can DJ house. If you can DJ, don't even really drum and bass is a bit of a discrepancy. But any form of dance music, if you can DJ at 120 BPM, you can DJ at 180 BPM. It's no difference, is it? So, and I thought, do I want to do that? Do I want to stand on stage and be disingenuous? Because I'm quite a passionate performer. When you see me playing live, I'm enjoying myself because I love this music. I'm playing to you music that I love. I'm selling it to you. And I just thought I couldn't be disingenuous and stand there and give it all that. Listen to this. And inside, I'm dying inside thinking, this is shit, this. So there was like that incident where they got kind of fucking the piss took out of me was like, I don't really want to do this anymore because there's no way around here playing what I want to play. And the scene had got to that stage, which I'm sure you've gone through, where you're getting exploited. And there's a fine line. I want the exposure. I want the opportunity, but don't take the piss out of me. And I've always said this. If you're having an event for charity events and there's going to be 10,000 people there, Jay, do you want to play? There's no money involved. Mate, I'll fucking bite your hand off. Of course I will. No problem at all. I'll do anything for you. But if you're making 10 pence off me, I want a piece of that 10 pence. Do you know what I mean? I don't like people making money off the back of my name. If it's for free, it's for free. No problem. I'll give me time for charity events or for friends or anything like that. Of course I will, 100%. But as soon as I find out you're making so much as a penny off me, off my name, I want to fracture that because that's where the piss is getting took then, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Of course. It's like, if you go back to charity events, like, I done a charity event a few years ago, and which I done like a 5-hour set, and at the end, I didn't want any money. Obviously, it was for charity. Can't remember the cause. And at the end, they thanked, like the compere, if you want to call it that. It was a woman. They thanked every performer apart from me. And I stood there for 5, and I was just like, so after that,
everyone else was doing like half hours and 20 minutes.
It was 6 hours. I done 6 till midnight, I think. And they thanked everyone apart from me. So after that, going forward, I was just like going back onto like, where do you draw the line now going forward with charity gigs. So I don't think I've played one since. And that unless it's for people who I know, do you know what I mean? I will. And it sounds, people might take that the wrong way, listen, like thinking, who do you think you are? But it's especially this day and age, I haven't got 6 hours what I can give away. I'd try and spend that with my 5-year-old, do you know what I mean? But you know, I still do charity work, but as going forward for DJing and stuff, I'm not saying I'll never do one again, but I'll be very cautious and I'll do my research of
There's also a thing as well, like when, like say someone books you or I as a DJ, they're not booking a person for that hour. They're booking 20, 30 years of experience to get to that stage of where you are.
Yeah,
it's like, it's, you know, when I first started DJing, I had Technics 1210s and I only knew 2 people who had decks at the time. Talking like the mid-90s now. Kev Mack and Neil Walsh. I still talk to Neil Walsh to this day. We got reconnected. You know Neil, don't you? I've known Neil since we were kids. But he was one of the only people I knew who had decks. And I used to go around to his, and it was like wizardry. I'd see him on the decks and I think, you know, and then this other lad from Bayars, Kev Mack, he kind of took me under his wing and showed me like the ropes, if you like. This is what it does and all that. But then fast forward to like that incident when I went to Derby, like the mid 2000s, everybody had decks. So you were getting to a stage then where you'd submit a CD or you'd go into a competition and you might be technically fucking amazing, but this guy brought 60 people with him. So guess what? You get through to the next round. Do you know what I mean? It become like more of a, pardon the pun, like a talent show. You know, it wasn't it wasn't a skill-based thing anymore. It was like Britain's Got Talent. Yeah, you know,
of course.
the little fucking the little fat kid with the glasses comes on and sings a little song, and everyone goes, "Whoa!" You know, and he's not really that good, but he's cute, isn't he? So he gets to his next round.
Of course,
some kid comes out and belts out fucking Ness and Dormer. And it's like, you're not good enough. Fucking hell. Little fat kids there like giggling.
That's it. It's crazy how it works. It goes. It's even now like this is like kind of a newish Instagram account I had, and I think my last one I had a couple of thousand followers. Not a couple of thousand. I think I had a lot more than what I had now. But I sometimes look at it now and I think, like, I see all the other DJs and I don't know, you know, you're like, they're crap, but you look on the followers and they've got like 8,000 followers or something, and you're like but it's
not a justified industry at all. There's lots of people who, and I'm not going to start naming names now, obviously, but there's lots of people who are out there. I see videos all the time, and again, I'm not going to name names. I'm watching videos lately, and this guy's dancing in front of the decks, well-established DJ, you know, loads of followers, and he's doing all this. He's doing nothing. It's like, as a DJ, me, you and I know what's going on. And I seen it at the boxing a few weeks ago. They had this girl, and she's giving her all this. And what are you doing? You've seen the videos on YouTube, haven't you? With the touching fresh air and the twiddling buttons that don't do nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Of course.
Everything I do when I'm playing, everything I do is for a purpose. I'm not just gonna like get the fucking, you know, the FX selection knob and just start doing all that for a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, or bring it up the fader on Channel 4 when I'm not even playing Channel 4. I don't get all that. But it's like, for some people, it's more of a performance now, isn't it?
It's like anyone can be a DJ and look cool, but not everyone can be a DJ and know how to play.
Yeah, I remember playing in the Mask, or was it the Mask? Yeah, I think it was the Mask. Another DJ kind of started talking to me, and they were on a few weeks after, and they were watching me. And I remember I'll go and watch them, you know, as a bit of a support.
Yeah.
And they played the first track, and they were giving it all that. And I thought, you need to get your next tune ready, mate. And it's like that, and you know, you start hearing the breakdown of the tune, like just the kick and and I see in the panic, I'm like, fucking hell. It's like you do all that when you're ready. Do your showboat when you're already winning. Don't start going and start doing all that. Woo,
and then it bites you on the ass.
I'm for the fucking count then.
That's it. It's like I find this is probably a little bit of a deep analogy. This back in the old school days. It's probably even when I first started going out before mobile phones came into place and social media. I feel like the crowds were more connected to the music. So if you did fuck up, then the crowd would actually like listen to you fucking up. But now because everyone's disconnected on the phones and everyone just with life in general the way it is. I feel like hearing and listening are two different things. Back then, the crowd listened. Now, like, so listening is more of a focus-based thing, I believe. This is just my analogy. And hearing, you're just like, whatever, you're just hearing things in the background. So I believe now for kids on the decks and they drop a mix where it's boom, 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 probably 90% of that crowd will not detect, will not know that them beats are going out, because the two, everyone's just like, just got the blinkers on. Do you know what I mean? They're just like engaged. Just no one's like conscious about what's going on. So basically, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is, I feel like the crowds back then were more conscious crowds than they are now. You probably be able to.
Could be right. It's a strange old industry, isn't it? You know, it's like a busman's holiday. Once you can DJ, you'll never hear the DJ set the same ever again. Just like once you can produce music, you'll never listen to music the same again. Once you can produce music, when you're listening to it, you're breaking it down. You listen to that constant sound, like that little offbeat there, and then it fades off, and then it comes in with a bit of a triplicate to it. It's mad, isn't it?
That's it. I know DJs who've been DJing for a few years now, and they're still making bootlegs for an hour key. And you're like how can you not like? And it's
do you not know?
And they're like that, and then you get people in the comments going, "Oh yes, that's boss, that's boss, that." All that exactly. And you're like, how is no one listening? That's like totally out of key. And I'm like, no, that's well done. And you're like, and I'm just like,
there's a fine line, I suppose, between encouragement and what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I've always got, I can put a mix out or a track out or whatever, and I know there's people on my socials or in my group of friends on my WhatsApp who'll go, brilliant, oh, boss, that, fantastic, brilliant, fire emoji and all that kind of stuff. But I also know I've got a small select group of friends who'll go, it's all right, that, but, and that's the key. That's what I want. That's what you need. You're never going to improve. Like everyone patting you on the back and telling you the best things in sliced bread. You're never going to improve, because you're going to go.
Of course.
You're going to go through life thinking, you know, when someone gives you criticism, fuck off. Fucking tell me. My ma says I'm fucking boss. My fucking nan says I'm boss. My best mate says I'm boss. So you're fucking talking shit, aren't you? Yeah,
that's it. It's like, even like on it going, you know, fast forward and just to this present moment. And like, I've done a show on In Demand a while back, like, and I thought next time, I think like me links, like they were good. They were good. And like, but I thought, I listened back and I thought, right, how can I be better here for the next time? And then the next show I've done, I implemented what I said I was going to do, and I listened back and I thought, yeah, that's great. That I thought, I'm happy with that now. But that was like, I'm a self-critic as well. And I said to my girl, like, I said to her, what do you reckon on this? Can you see where I'm coming from? She went, oh yeah, and I went, so next time, and then I showed her the next show, and we listened back, and I went, see the way I've done that now? And she went, yeah, and I went, there you go. But if she'd have gone, oh no, you sound fine, you sound fine, no. But she, what I was trying to say to her, she agreed. She went, oh yeah. She said, probably no one will get on to it. And I said, so I'll put that in next time. And then I improved, and I said, listen to that now. She went, oh yeah.
See, we're lucky in that sense, because we've got Steve Cocky, and Steve Cocky doesn't pull his fucking punches at all, does he? And I love him for it. You know what? When I first got connected with him, again, one of my mates, got a good mate from school, and I said to him, I've given the demo in there. And I said it to my mate, oh yeah, it's fucking boss, that, but you smash it, you know.
Yeah.
And Steve Cocky was like, okay, it's okay, but you need to adjust this, and this.
Yeah.
I went, okay. Like, and I just took it, because this is a guy who knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
this is a guy who works in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, he knows what he wants, and he knows what the people want and what works.
Yeah.
And my mate was like, oh, he's a fucking cheeky cunt, him. You want to fuck him off? You know, he's fucking he's treating you like shit. I was like, no, he's not. He really isn't. It's like the old fucking Mr. Miyagi thing. He's not being mean to me. Yeah. He's fucking teaching me. There's a real big difference here.
Yeah.
He's not just being a cunt and saying it's shit. He's saying, okay, it's shit, but it's shit because A, B, and C. Fix A, B, and C. And you've got a chance of it not being shit. So now, when I do anything, and I get the thumbs up off Cocky, I'm like,
he's brilliant, isn't he? Yeah. He is. He's a really nice fella. Like he's another DJ, you know. He's a legend, isn't he? You know, I listened to him on Radio City. Oh, he's brilliant, and he thanks to him, he gave me my break on In Demand, and I'm forever indebted for him. You know.
So how did that come? We'll get on to that because I've got it on my little bullet points here. How did that come about?
Yeah.
Don't forget you can catch me each and every Thursday night for my show Absolute Old School, only on In Demand Radio, where I play you 2 hours of classics and a feast of forgotten gems, usually on the harder side of the spectrum. We kick off with the early 90s every week, and then we have the trance flashback section, followed by the spotlight section. In the past, we've featured clubs and events like Kinetic, The Drome, Good Grief, labels like Tidy Tracks, Bonsai and Shock, and artists such as Ultrasonic, Tony DeVee and Scott Brown. We always finish off nice and tough with the Go Hard or Go Home section. You can catch it on In Demand Radio Thursday nights from 11 p.m, or listen back absolutely free of charge on indemandradio.com, or download the free In Demand Radio app for Apple or Android.